Okay, so we are ready to go. Let me get everything up here. All right, here we go. Okay, we are back, running a few minutes behind, but that's okay. Sometimes good things are good to wait for 'em. Something like that. Somebody said something
Something like
about
that.
yeah. All great things come to those who wait, or something like that. I'm not sure. We already got a call.
Yeah. I don't
Hey,
know if I'll
Kobe
buy
Cooper
that
says,
or not.
but I'm excited though because Tim's got his new laptop. His camera's looking great. He's downstairs in the card section, promoting himself with this Third Floor Comics uh, t-shirt. That's a new one. I needed to get that one, by the way. So I wear extra large and extra in the bicep area, if you don't mind. See, get
Gotcha.
that custom made. You know, I'm
Hey,
I'm pushing a very masculine 162 pounds of steel, so there's gotta be extra room in the chest area for me. So,
I
but
hear you.
hey, to make it known again, I actually put it in the headline here. We're going to talk about the Batman. And in case you didn't look at the thing that was posted, there's a spoiler alert, guys. So we're actually going to talk about the Batman movie and what we thought of it. So if you haven't seen it, there are some spoilers here. So we don't mean to hurt your feelings. If we do, blame it on Tim, and
That's right.
he'll give you a free Third Floor Comics T-shirt if he hurts your feelings.
And make those as I go. I think this is a cricket special. Okay.
All right, but yeah, we are rolling. We got some Batman. We got the Batman to talk about, and Kobe says it's a great movie in his opinion. Um, and there's also the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer that dropped. We got some pictures from that as well, and some Morbius. So I wanted to ask you real quick, Tim, how are things going today down at the Nitro Antique Mall?
Everything went pretty good today. A little slow on the side. I think the interstate traffic around Nitro's kind of slowed us down a little bit, but for most part, pretty good day today. Picked up a nice collection of Back to the Future NECAs and some nice fitting for downstairs. So pretty good day overall.
You'll have to explain to me what a NECA is. I'm sure I know what it
NECA
is.
NECA is a toy line that it makes hyper realistic action figures.
Mm-hmm.
It's a most of them are 6 inches or so, plus or minus, given the character they licensing for all your major horror franchises. They have licensing for all your major pop culture icon shows and movies. They're one of the brand names that sell under is Real Toys.
Mm-hmm.
Premium packaging. It's like a bookshelf kind of thing that opens up, has a character inside of it, has the action figure might have 2 or 3 different faces or heads with it, 2 or 3 different hand styles, lots of accessories, very posable, hyper realistic.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds it's are they similar to like the McFarlane toys that used to come out?
Yes, somewhat. I just noticed when my case is open, I didn't know about here. Yeah, the McFarlane stuff was super hyper realistic. These are real similar to the McFarlane stuff.
Okay.
So,
All
yeah.
right. Yeah, okay. We'll have to check that out. You said it was Back to the Future. Is that what you said?
Picked up some Back to the Future, a few others, some newer Han Solo 6-inch action figures. It is a nice, decent collection.
My kids, my daughters, they love it. They love that scary stuff. They didn't get it from me. They got that from their mom. But
Now, do they prefer the new It or the old It?
you know what? I know that I believe it's my youngest. She has like the book. So as far as which one they prefer, I'm not sure. But they like that scary stuff. They didn't get that from me. Um, not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not me. Not that I'm afraid as a man. But yeah. So the is what we'll do first. We'll bust into the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. As a matter of fact, I got some pictures here. So the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is coming out on Disney Plus. What is it? 6 episodes? I believe that's what it is.
I believe so.
Yeah. Let me see what Kobe had to say here. Chrissy Grinslade says hi. Yeah, so the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is coming out, and I am excited about it. I hopefully not that the Book of Boba Fett was bad, but hopefully this is a whole lot better than the Book of Boba Fett.
I'll come out and say it. I think the Book of Boba Fett was bad. So
it was how about it was halfway bad. The first couple episodes were good. The Mandalorian episodes were good, and then after that, it was pretty. Yeah, it was different.
Lame.
Yeah. But no, Obi-Wan Kenobi is coming to Disney Plus. There's actually, I believe that's a picture of a young Luke Skywalker.
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah, as Obi-Wan watches over him with I don't want to call them binoculars, but that's pretty much what they are.
Yeah.
They're just looking through there. We got Obi-Wan there. He's hanging out, not in the KRT, but something similar to it. We have some more pictures here from the Obi-Wan trailer. I'd love to actually put it on here, but of course that would have got dinged by
it would have flagged us, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have flagged us. Kobe says the only good episodes was the Mandalorian. Yeah, was it? Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But Obi-Wan Kenobi comes out. Let me see if I can pull that up here when that comes out here on Disney Plus. Give me just a second here. The trailer looks awesome, by the way.
I kind of like seeing the trailer like this, broken down frame by frame. It gives you a chance to see a lot of things that you don't. It gives you a better chance to see small details in the back of the in the background that you wouldn't probably catch watching the trailer as a whole. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, let me see here. All right, so we know that that Ewan McGregor is reprising his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and also they say that Hayden Christensen is reprising his role as Anakin Skywalker. So I'm kind of pumped about that. I think that's awesome that they really got both of them to commit to that, because a lot of times guys, actors don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And really, I don't think Hayden Christensen has done much since Star Wars as far as like a big role that I can think of.
No, well, he had that one movie right after Star Wars. Wasn't Looper? What was it? Yeah, it's so bad I can't remember the name of it. It's like the Star Wars curse. He did the Star Wars film and just it fell off for him.
Yeah,
like Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, poor young Anakin. Yeah, I do you think it's just because they're typecast in those roles?
I think so to a large degree. I mean, look at all of them. Carrie Fisher. Everyone knew who she was, but she didn't do a whole lot outside of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Hamill had to basically go into animation in order to further his acting career. Seems like the only one that was really ever able to probably the success of their acting inside Star Wars was Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford. Yeah, and that's crazy too, because you think of, I honestly, I mean, me when I think of Harrison Ford, I honestly think of him as what comes to mind first is, oddly enough, is Indiana Jones over Star Wars. And I think that I think maybe had he not done Indiana Jones, I'm not sure if he would have had the successful career that he had or that he has. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Harrison Ford really is the only one out of all. There's Morbius, all the ones out of all of them that really had a career after Star Wars. I mean, like you said, Mark Hamill does his voiceovers for animation, but even at that, I mean, if you don't read into stuff and you don't follow him, you really wouldn't know that he was doing that. So it's kind of crazy, But I think that it'll be good. It's I think it's cool to see the story after Revenge of the Sith, to see what takes place with that. So or I think it's after Revenge of the Sith, I believe. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. It comes out when was that coming out? May 25th, I believe that's what it was. Let me pull that back up here. May 25th, there we go, on Disney Plus. So I'm excited about that.
I gotta say this about it. It used to be when I'd go to the movies or see a movie preview and it's something that I've been dying to see, something that I was really looking forward to, I'd get the chill bumps that roll down my arm. Spider-Man, I get chill bumps. And I gotta say, the last couple of years, the previews I've seen, nothing has given me chill bumps. It's been kind of like, yeah, I want to see it, but it's more the same, more the same. Obi-Wan gave me chill bumps. He gave me that chill going down my arms. I was like, I cannot wait to see this.
Yeah, I think the last time that I felt that way was, I want to say, Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of had the same feeling for Endgame, but with Infinity War, you were getting excited because all the characters were coming together.
Now, serious question here, Melvin.
Yeah.
Serious question. On Endgame, did you get misty-eyed?
You talking about Tony's death scene?
Yeah.
Did
you get a little choked up?
Well, I did. I'm not ashamed to say that I cry some man tears. I mean, it's human, especially when you've had what 23 movies to really make a connection with these characters. So the one that kind of got it started a little bit was when of course, Black Widow's death. I was like, oh man, that's awful. The moment, well, you knew it was coming the moment they got out of the mountain. I mean, obviously you knew that one of the two was going. And then the moment they realized it, when Red Skull or I can't remember his name up on the mountain there, but it was Red Skull. When Red Skull, told him, a soul for a soul, and kind of like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh man, that's sad. And then once she looked at Hawkeye and said, let me go, I was like, oh, that's crushing. And I think too with the scene when Hawkeye comes back by himself and Bruce Banner realizes that she's not coming back, and he picks up the bench and he throws it, that was sad. But yeah, Tony's death scene, especially when Peter walks over to him and, Mr. Stark, we won. And I was like, oh gosh. Is it okay for us to share that experience with Spider-Man 2? I mean, it's been a while. If you hadn't seen Spider-Man yet, you need to get off the couch or be a pirate like me and watch it on your laptop. I think it's safe. Did you tear up for Aunt May?
I teared up for Aunt May a little bit. I teared up a few times with Spider-Man. I get really emotional in movies. I mean, I'll come out and say it. I'll man up, say it. Movies bring out the emotion in me.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do. Yeah.
I mean, they do. I mean, I do well. The glasses help hide it somewhat. I can get by with, especially the big red glasses. I can hide tears in those things pretty good. So those are my movie-going glasses.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, when we saw Endgame, we saw it with Jesse and I saw it with another couple, and we saw Lewis and Linda that works here. And Linda looked over at one point during the Tony Stark funeral, and she's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And like, you don't understand. This is accumulation of not only just these last 20 or so movies. This is all my childhood heroes rolled up into one.
Yeah.
And I finally seeing it. It's coming to an end. She's like, "You're an idiot."
Well, I mean, it's one of those, everybody has a connection with something, whether it's music or whether it's movies or something like that. I mean, I have movies that, even though I may have seen them 30 times, the emotions that certain scenes give to you, it still hits me like it's the first time that I saw it. And that's what movies are supposed to do. It's the same thing with songs. I mean, people have their "Someone Broke My Heart" song that they can listen to 100 times while they, sit and in their emotions, and so that's what they're supposed to do. And those scenes make you tear up. The Aunt May and the Tony Stark scene, and it's very, very sad, very, very sad. So it's okay to cry. We need to get shirts that say it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry.
It's okay to cry.
Yeah, it's okay to cry.
I kind of got us off on a tangent there, but how do you really feel about Obi-Wan? Is there any kind of character that you saw in that preview that you can't wait to see more of?
Well, you know what, with the Star Wars movies, where there's so many characters, outside of the first three films, it's a lot of times it's tough for me to keep up with their names, just because the first three films where they were a part of your life because you had the toys, and you may have read the comics, and you saw the movies over and over again. Of course, when we were kids, with TBS and TNT, they constantly played the movies, so you knew them from front to back and back to front. So with the newer ones, my character, my knowing of the characters kind of, but there's in the trailer, there's the lady with the lightsaber, so I'm interested to see who she is. I can't tell if that's Darth Vader or not. The guy
It is
walking
not.
through. Okay.
It is not. Yeah.
All right. So I'm interested to see who that is too. Let me pull this up here. Let me bring that dude up. I was interested in that guy as well. He kind of looked like Darth Vader a little bit.
They are Jedi hunters.
Jedi hunters. Okay.
Inquisitors. I haven't watched all of Clone Wars or any of the animated stuff. And one of my employees upstairs, David, he's kept up with all the animated stuff. He considers Star Wars everything from episode 1 to current. The classic 3, he doesn't really associate that well to. But he's always schooling me on who the new characters are. He was right on. He watched the trailer with, but yeah, I don't know what his name is. He's I believe it's an Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
I probably pronounced that incorrectly. But they're basically Jedi hunters.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Let me take a look at something here.
David absolutely lost his donuts about he saw that character on there. He's like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this. That's so and so. Then he goes upstairs, he runs back downstairs, he pulls a book, he goes, here's his first appearance. It's gonna go through the roof. So
let me see here. Let me see what this comment is. We'll get on. We're good on Batman here. Let me see. Kobe
I'm on my
says,
first season of Clone Wars, Kobe. Get ready to finish it up.
with the cartoons, the thing with the cartoons, and I just, it's tough for me to watch adult cartoons. It's just because I guess as a kid you really didn't have them, so it's tough for me to watch that adult cartoons. I mean, I'll try to sit down and watch it, but unfortunately, what's cool is, even though I don't watch it, is they're taking those stories and they're picking up in the actual movies. I think that's kind of cool that they do that. Mm-hmm. So I need to go back and watch the Clone Wars because there's a lot of what's the lady in Rosario plays her. She's got the long
Ahsoka.
Yeah. So apparently she was big in the Clone Wars.
She's huge in Clone Wars. It's mostly about her. Yeah.
So I have to go back and check that out. You want to jump in the Batman? Because I know you got your thing here.
Let's go to the Batman. Let's do the Batman.
Let's pull him up real quick here. Okay. So the
angry, broody, emo Batman right there.
Yeah. He's like, I want my coffee and I want it now. So yes. I want to ask you, what did you think? We'll just start with him as Batman. What did you think?
I loved him as Batman. We didn't really see him enough as Bruce Wayne to really draw a huge conclusion, a real opinion about him as Batman. I mean, as Bruce Wayne. But I liked him as Batman. I like the violence that he has at the beginning of it. I like his detective work. I like the way he works as Batman. I have a lot of mixed feelings about the film. Parts of it I really enjoyed. Parts of it I really couldn't wait for it to end. But Pattinson, I think, pulls off the Batman really well.
Yeah.
I'd still want to see more Affleck Batman, which I don't think I will in the future, but I'd still like to see it. I think this guy turns into Affleck Batman.
I liked him as just like you because we really didn't see a whole lot of Bruce Wayne. I liked him as Batman. I thought it was how should I put it? The way that he just kept going at it, the detective mode, I guess you would say. I thought that was great because in a lot of the Batman films, there's really Batman is just solely focused on that one particular character. Mm-hmm. And there's really not a lot of detective part to it. It's kind of one of those deals where the police do their job and then he comes in, before them or behind them, and cleans it all up. This one, Batman was
Yeah.
there in the thick of it, along with Gordon, and I thought that was cool. I really did it.
I think the movie itself, for me, I loved all the individual pieces of it. I mean, I love Colin Farrell as Penguin. I don't remember the guy's name that played Riddler, but he did a fantastic job as Riddler. I mean, I liked all the actors and all the roles. I think they played superbly. Catwoman nailed it. Just at the same time, I couldn't wait for the movie to end. It was so dark and depressing for me. I just wanted to get out of there. So I need to go back and watch it again to see whether it was just maybe the popcorn wasn't sitting right with me that night. I don't know, but I got to watch it again to find out whether it's just me or whether it's just really that kind of dark.
Well, I think it's one of the things. I feel the same way that you did. When it got to the point when it got into hour 2, and I kept watching, I was like, oh man, I'm trying to finish this off, but I wish they'd hurry up. And I think what it was for me, maybe this is the same for you, is that they could have cut it down and still kept the movie, because the movie, in my opinion, it was just the detective work part of it. They're really all right. So Colin Farrell is the Penguin. He was there, but he wasn't there. So Batman and Gordon, trying to solve the riddles from the Riddler and things like that. There was just it just kept dragging on and on and on. Not necessarily like in a bad way, but in a way, like you said, can you hurry this up? Can you finish it up?
Yeah. I want to touch back on Kobe's comment here in just a little bit about the Bat car. Yeah. It's a Batmobile, not a Bat car, but touch on that here in a second.
Kobe lost some points. He lost some cool points. The next time I see you, Kobe, if I see you in Tim's store, we got to put you in timeout and put you in a corner for 10 minutes or something.
But yes, actually, maybe this was more of a Bat car than the Batmobile. I mean, realistically, I'm thinking he's a billionaire, right? He has access to all the best toys and gadgets and technology in the world. It's Wayne Enterprises, right? They make everything, right? So why am I driving a 69 Dodge Challenger with a rocket in the back of it? I loved it. It has that great look. It has that snarl, that growl. It's all power. It's all aggression. I love the whole scene within it, but at the same time, I'm thinking, where are those amazing toys?
Right.
Jack Nicholson, where are my toys?
You know what? It's I'm not much the car guy, so I found it kind of loud. I was like, oh, really? Are they really like revving this thing up, souping it up? Like it's at a car show or something like that. But Kobe says I still loved it too. I love feeling the engine in my chest. Well,
I agree, man. It had that snarl.
It was beastly. It was beastly.
I drive it.
Let me ask you this. I know that I had you guys laughing the other day when we were talking about the movie. The only thing really that got me in the movie that was, and it sounds silly, but it just bothered me, was Catwoman's half toboggan cut up, whatever that was. I don't even know what that was, but I wasn't liking it at all. It just looked generic. It looked like she just took some scissors and cut it up and put it over her face. And why is it, and it was over her nose. It wasn't a good look.
Didn't like that at all?
No. No. If I have to go and make comparisons between the different Catwomans, the costume wise, Michelle Pfeiffer's looked plastic. I liked what's her name? The last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad I forgot her name. I actually like her as an actress.
Yeah.
I liked her outfit there. I thought her Catwoman was a little bit better, just because Anna Hathaway
Yeah.
is her name. I thought her Catwoman was a little bit better. She was more of villainous, I guess is what you would say.
Mhm.
But Zoe Kravitz did good. I just wasn't feeling the toboggan. That's it. I what did you think about the Riddler and the way that they had him in comparison to the colorful, comical Riddlers of the past?
Touch real quick on Catwoman, just toboggan headgear.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know where I read it. I read all kinds of stuff online about this stuff, but someone brought up a good point that, this movie is grounded in realism a lot. I mean, it was probably the most realistic Batman. If it was this kind of persona was existing now,
hmm
and they were kind of saying, okay, as far as her Catwoman costume goes, the toboggan fits in on a very realistic level. She's not a seamstress. She's not, hitting up the party stores for a mask or something like that. She's just using whatever she's got on hand. And I kind of see it for that, but I kind of agree. It did look kind of shoddy.
yeah,
I mean, she could have went to, Halloween Express, picked up something better, I think.
something.
But the boots more than made up for it. Okay. I mean,
Well,
I didn't know she had a mask on.
here's one of here's the big thing that I liked about the movie is that, and actually it goes back to what you said just now, is that, well, for one, they got rid of the backstory. They mentioned it,
Mhm.
but they didn't make it like part of the movie like previous Batmans before. Kind of the same thing with the Tom Holland Spider-Man. They mentioned Uncle Ben, but they just kept it moving. And I like this one in the Batman that they mentioned it. It did come up later on in the movie at a certain plot point there. But they kept it moving, and I like that. And I like the way, like you said, it's kind of like from the ground up, and you can kind of feel the characters really kind of getting to know themselves. And it was less Bruce Wayne and more Batman. And because in the past Batman films, you had you had the Bruce Wayne part of the film where he's arrogant, he's a billionaire, and he's attending parties and women and things like that. And they took that out and just kept it straight, the Batman detective part of it. And the thing that I described to you guys and other people is, I looked at it as you're mixing the movie Seven with The Dark Knight.
Yeah, when you said that, I mean, it hit me like a brick. I mean, that's exactly what I felt
Mhm.
watching this. It had that really foreboding feeling throughout the whole thing. It had that just that it was relentless from the time it started to the time it ended. You have that really just feeling of dread throughout the whole movie, I think.
Mhm.
And um and it's a more serious character. I mean, the Riddler / Zodiac killer they have in this is a very serious kind of character,
Yeah.
and he kind of held on to it. It didn't play off the puns or jokes or anything like that. I mean, he's a vigilante doing a job or a self-imposed job,
Hi, Batman Jr.
and and I like the Riddler in. I mean,
He was very methodical, I guess.
yeah,
You would say, as opposed to, well, he's smart, but he's corny at the same time. This guy wasn't corny. He was very,
yeah. There's no corniness.
yeah. He was very. What got me about the Riddler too is the whole movie. I kept thinking, what does this dude look like? Because when you see him in the costume, you're thinking just some crazy homicidal guy that
Mm-hmm.
when he takes his mask off, he looks like he's eating people.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool, the way that the actor that played him. I thought that was kind of cool. I'll tell you something I read the other day. The actor that played him said that he used I think it was saran wrap and tied it around his face underneath the mask that he wore to make it seem like more crazy. He said, don't do this at home, but yeah, he wore like yeah, he tied like saran wrap around his face
Oh wow.
to make the costume look better.
I mean, I think this Riddler put me in mind of the Heath Ledger Joker quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, in that, the Riddler's always been that less of a killer, more of a prankster kind of more of a lighthearted kind of criminal.
Yeah.
Even like in the Gotham shows, he, he is a killer. I mean, he is a murderer, but he's also got a really lighthearted aspect to him too.
Mhm.
And they stripped away all of that from this and turned him into just a diehard, maniacal kind of killer,
Yeah.
which really goes along with the Heath Ledger Joker from
Yeah.
the Christian Bale films.
Mhm.
I mean, I saw some similarities in that throughout the whole movie,
Yeah.
especially in the Christian Bale films when the Joker has the innocent bat wannabes that he's getting ready to kill him. Fast forward to this film where the Riddler has the not so innocent DA or whatever with the cage around him. It's very reminiscent of one another. So, which brings us up to the final end of the movie with, I guess, the Joker.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. I mean,
Mm.
I think it's safe to say that was him.
Oh yeah.
Just judging by life. Let me ask you this about the Riddler. Do you think that this Riddler character can, years down the road, when you think of the Batman movie, this Batman, the Batman, will you think of the Riddler first the same way that when you think of the Dark Knight, you think of the Joker and Heath Ledger? Because when you think of the
Uh,
Dark Knight, you automatically think of the Joker. Oh,
yeah.
that's the one with the Joker. That's the one with Heath Ledger. Two more, if two movies from now, do you think you yourself or people in general will go
Mhm.
back and say, the Batman with the Riddler?
I don't think so. I don't think they'll call him the Riddler. I think where they pushed him more to be like the Zodiac type killer.
Mhm.
I think we're going to think more of it as they're going to call it the Riddler, but they're going to associate more with the maniacal Zodiac killer versus a Riddler type character. If that makes any sense at all. I mean, I think they were call it the Riddler. I'm going to think of it as I'm going to call him the Riddler, but it's still not the Riddler to me. I don't know if that makes any sense or not.
Sure. But what I'm saying though is that when you think of this movie, or let's just say there's two movies after this. Let's say they have a trilogy, which I'm sure they will. Will you think of the movie because of that character?
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Because when you think of Dark Knight, you think of the Joker.
Mhm.
You think you or people in general will go back and look at this and say, think of the movie because of that character?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I Yeah, I honestly don't know if I could put him on the same level as the Joker, and it's hard to do that. Like we talked a couple weeks ago about, the death of the death of Heath Ledger, making that character bigger,
Mhm.
but because of that. Um, but I will say that I'll think of that in this movie with this villain in it more so than I think of Bane in the third Batman, from the previous ones, and more so the Scarecrow, from um, the first one.
Yeah, I think like the first one when I think a lot of people even forget the Scarecrow was in the first more than in Batman Begins
Right.
because it wasn't your typical Scarecrow kind of character,
Hmm.
and it was people think of it more as Batman Begins with Ra's al Ghul.
Right.
For me, when I'm thinking about it, that's the character that sticks for me is Ra's al Ghul because he's actually the primary villain in it,
Hmm.
and Scarecrow in that film is more of just a piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
In the new Batman, of course, Riddler is the main villain, but I just don't. I mean, for whatever reason, for me, I don't think it's going to be. I'm going to look back. I go, oh, yeah, that's the Riddler film. I
Yeah.
just don't think that character has that maniacal twist. That everyone's going. He was maniacal. He was crazy, but just for me, it wasn't that long lasting kind of character that's going to hold a grip into my memories. Really.
Right. It's basically it's not going to be on the level. Even if you take Ledger's death away,
Mhm.
uh, people were just crazy about that Joker character just because it was so wild and over the top, and
Mhm.
it was different than Jack Nicholson's um, comical, lovable type Joker deal. Um, I liked the way that the characters weren't finished off so that they can be reused in future
Mhm.
films. I like that a lot. I liked the idea of the Penguin being in the movie and actually being a part of the movie, but also I like the way that they set it up for future films. What did
Sure.
you think? One, let me ask you this: what did you think of the Penguin, and then two, what did you think of Colin Farrell's Penguin?
Two thoughts on that. I think that character of this film worked. I mean, whatever his role, whatever his name is in it, it worked. But I don't feel that's the Penguin. It's not the classic Penguin at all. The Penguin's he's a lead villain in his own right, and to see him not so much a lead villain, but as like a just a smaller under villain to someone else, I didn't care for that too much. I mean, the Penguin should be as he's as much of a villain to Batman as the Riddler is,
Right.
or the Joker is.
Mhm.
But in this film series, he's not. He's just another mobster, basically.
Did
Uh,
did you get a like a low budget Kingpin vibe from him?
Not really until you mentioned it. I mean, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
It's Rusty's
Rusty,
day here.
he says in this movie the character didn't get his own moments. When you think of the Joker and the mob scene, him tugging on the grenade, yeah, when he's walking in, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this guy never had a moment until his jail scene close up. They had something in this guy and they wasted it. I can kind of see that,
You can see that.
but I will say this though. I think that what they did with him was kind of kept him away so that it kept the story interesting of him trying to be caught.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's kind of hard to keep dropping. The Riddler himself is not like the Joker was out in the open. He didn't care if he was out in public murdering. He didn't care if he was in private. The Riddler is kind of like a hide and seek kind of guy, kind of chameleon type of guy. But I can see what you're saying though about that. Though I can get that. Yeah, absolutely.
I guess maybe that's part of what didn't work for me. Work for me. He brings up a good point. The Riddler throughout this whole thing, he's a plot device. He's an interesting plot device, but the whole movie centers around Batman completely. So, and to your question, am I going to remember that, or someone else going to remember that in the future about it? You're going to remember the Batman
Mhm.
because the movie's about the Batman. And you remember Darker Brooding, you remember him, emo Batman or Detective Batman or whatever. But the Riddler, I think, like to what you're saying, was just more of a plot device. They could have done a lot more with him if they just shown him in action more, or he could have been in the scene. He could have been doing what he was doing and hiding from it, but
Yes.
we could have seen more of it.
Yeah.
If they cut away to what he was actually doing instead of just showing the end results of it.
I like the fact too that at the end the flooding. I thought the first thing when that started happening, and as time went on, I got thinking, oh, this is going to go. It's not going to be prevented. The first thing that I thought of was the end of Infinity War. You knew the movie was kind of coming to an end. Okay, well, we got a couple minutes left. It's not going to be too much longer. Someone's going to come in and save the day. Thor comes in and you know hits Thanos in the chest, and we all know what happens. And with the flooding, I kind of got that same. Okay, we've set something up to where things aren't looking so good in Gotham, and we can ride off that into the next film, because a lot of times at the end of movies, you have that hero moment where you save the day, but really the day wasn't saved. And
No,
that's what I liked about that ending. The day really wasn't saved, and you have something to keep going forward. Let me ask you, how did you feel about how involved Gordon was?
I really enjoyed the Gordon character in this.
Mhm.
I can't remember what that actor's name is, but he's in several films that I've enjoyed, several series. He's in uh, Westworld. I love his character in Westworld, and so I want to say he did a great job. Yeah, I loved him as Gordon in this, and I think it really shows that the relationship that the two of those developed very early on.
Mhm. Yeah, I thought he was good. I liked him a lot. He I liked the fact that he he was the only one pretty much on Bruce Wayne's side. And
Yeah,
I liked the way that the other police officers were just really against him because you know what really stuck out to me, there was the scene where there was many scenes where the police was like, "Are you serious?" But there was the scene where he walks into the crime scene, Batman, and the one guy was like, "Are you serious? You're
hmm
seriously letting this
oh
guy?"
yeah,
I thought that was great because in reality, you got a dude wearing a bat suit, and just like the guy said, he's a vigilante, and you're letting him in here on a crime scene. What did you think? And if you remember this, it's okay if you don't. What did you think at the beginning of the movie where they dropped the F bomb?
I didn't. I mean, I heard it, but it just kind of went over my head. I mean, I knew going into it it's a more of an adult Batman film,
Yeah.
and if you've watched the Harley Quinn animated series, the F bombs dropped right and left. So it's nothing new for that. But I just noticed on your last picture there the Saran wrap on his head.
Let me pull it back up here. Hold on. Yeah.
I never noticed that till you mentioned that fact. Now I can definitely see it, and I gotta say also, I need to get a pair of those glasses. I think.
Yeah, he does look pretty creepy right there. I
Yeah, it looks creepy as hell.
Yeah, yeah. Let me pull him up here. I liked I liked him. I liked the Alfred. I liked the fact that they they took something from Spider-Man, and instead of Aunt May being 60, 70, whatever years old,
Hmm
they made her kind of younger, even though reality Marissa Tomei, she's got to be in her late 50s. um but I like the fact they used him. I can't remember his name, but I
Andy
like
Circus.
yes, I like the fact that they used him. I loved him in the Marvel movies. I thought he was cool as can be. I liked him, in Black Panther, and I liked him in the Age of Ultron. I thought he was cool as can be, and I liked him to the fact that he approached Bruce Wayne not necessarily like a kid, but kind of one of those, hey, it's time that you know the truth type deals, and I really enjoyed that a lot. I like that a lot. I
Taking a good long hard look at that last picture you had as him as Alfred
mhm.
is the first time I've ever actually really been able to see Gollum in him though.
Oh, you're talking about from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean this is the first time the eyes and the nose are definitely Gollum.
Mhm.
I mean, he did Gollum, right?
You know what? I'm ashamed to say I knew the reference you were making. I'm
Yeah.
ashamed to say that I've only seen one Lord of the Rings movie, and
Oh,
I tell you why. I'm going to go back and watch it for the sake of the world. But what happened was is that when the first one had come out, you know, and I was sitting over a friend's house. I'll never forget this. His name was Chris. And he was like, "Man, you got to check out this movie, The Lord of the Rings. It's bad and blah blah blah." So what happened was is I sat through the whole movie. It was almost, if not 3 hours long.
oh,
And
every bit of it.
I actually had fallen asleep a couple times. And at the end of the movie, they were standing like on some ledge or something, and it went off. And I said, "Are you kidding me? Is that the end of it?" I said, "I sat here through 3 hours to watch these dudes just stand on a ledge or a cliff or whatever it was, and the movie cuts off." I said, "Are you kidding me?" He was like, "Oh man, it's going to be a trilogy." I said, "Not for me, it ain't."
I'm
So,
out. Screw this.
so yeah, so I never went back and watched the rest. I will do that though. I will do that for you. I'll go
What
back.
did you think about Wayne Manor?
I liked the fact that there was actually someone else in Wayne Manor. Let me see. There's a comment here. There's always some kind of that's from YouTube. There's always I don't know if that's spam or something. FYIVYN. I'm not sure what that means. I liked the fact that there was someone else in Wayne Manor other than Bruce and Alfred. There was the lady. I don't know what her name was. I don't know if you know her or not.
Who she was.
Yeah, but I don't know if she was some kind of servant or something. I'm not sure. But I like the fact that there was someone else in Wayne Manor other than Alfred and Bruce. And it looked kind of excuse me, it looked kind of creepy. But what did you think of it?
I liked it. I liked his Bat Cave.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the creepy look of Wayne Manor. I mean, you kind of lose that sometimes in the modern films. It's more of a like it definitely better than the Christian Bale large white room that they moved into after Wayne Manor was destroyed. I'm not sure what that big room was, but I enjoyed the visual aspect of it.
Yeah, I think. Let me pull this up here. Let me find it. There's something here that I wanted to bring up about Robert Pattinson. Okay, so for those who have not seen the Batman, this is what I think. A lot of people, when they talked about Robert Pattinson, of course he was in Twilight. He's best known for playing a vampire. There's still images that everyone's seen where it looks like his makeup or something's running down his face or whatever. I just want to say, my opinion, he's not projecting a gothic look. It's just the fact that I guess he had eye black or something on that was running down his face. So it's not a situation where he's gothic and he's got clove incense or whatever smoking in the no. It's just he's in a hot ass mask and he had some eye makeup on. Yeah, maybe he just didn't wash his face for a couple of days, and dirt was running down his face. I don't know, but it has nothing to do with being goth or anything like that. So please,
I will say the number of glittery vampire memes that were sliding around the Facebook before the movie came out have stopped. I mean, they have stopped. I haven't seen a single Batman's glittery vampire meme or anything like that since the movie came out.
Well, that just goes back to what we talked about before with when you bring in an actor, especially someone that's either huge or they've got some kind of baggage to them where like for example, Ben Affleck is Batman. The first time that, and I can't speak for everyone, but the first time that you hear about Ben Affleck playing Batman, the first thing you think of is, oh God, this is going to bomb. This is going to be awful. This is going to be
Jersey Girl.
Yeah, Jersey Girl. Yeah. To the point to where Kevin Smith's got to come out and say, hey, this isn't a sequel to whatever it was. Yeah. Hey, I directed this, so please go watch it. It's not one of those type deals, but people automatically, I know that I did whenever the Ben Affleck Batman came out, Justice League or Batman versus Superman. The first thing you think of is, oh God, this is going to be awful. This is their way of trying to get everything they can out of it before it's over. But like you said, Ben Affleck was good, especially as Bruce Wayne. I thought he was cool as can be, and I never once looked at Ben Affleck as Batman as Ben Affleck. I just saw him as Bruce Wayne and Batman. And this is the way that I look at Robert Pattinson. Does it do the same thing for you?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched the Twilight movies. I haven't actually seen anything Pattinson's been in before this at all. So I didn't have that predetermined notion that he was a glittery vampire.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a problem at all with them casting him. I thought if they're casting him, then there's a reason why they're casting him.
Sure.
I think he can pull it off.
Yeah.
Affleck, I was excited to see Affleck as Batman. I mean, when we first mentioned the casting of it, I remember he did a movie called The Accountant.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, man, if he can pull that off, he can definitely pull the Batman off.
You talking about? Oh, that I'm thinking of changing lanes with Samuel Jackson. That's what I'm thinking of when you said The Accountant. I think I remember the one about The Accountant. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's definitely worth 2 hours.
Definitely, I have to check that out. Let me see here. What was I pulling up there? What still gets me about the Batman is how the whole movie, every time that I saw the Penguin, I kept looking to see if I can see Colin Farrell in there somewhere. What's amazing is you don't.
Nowhere.
If you didn't know that was Colin Farrell, you would not know. Let me pull him up here. If you didn't know that was Colin Farrell underneath all of that, you would never know that was him.
No.
What was amazing? What did you think of his voice?
No, I mean, no accent, no nothing. I mean, he nailed the character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I missed the cigar or the pencil length cigarette, but
you know what? I'm glad that you said that. I had read something a couple weeks ago that he wanted to use a cigar and he was told no because I don't know if it was whoever owns the rights to the movies told him no because they don't want that to be kids to see him smoking, I guess basically is what they were saying.
But
he even what I read is that he even went as far to say, I don't even have to light it, just let me hold it. And they were like, no. So I thought that was kind of corny. I mean, you got a dude beating the crap out of people. You got people with bombs hooked up to him, and you're worried about tobacco. I mean, come on.
I mean, you got a nightclub that's selling drugs, you got a nightclub that's in prostitution, you got drinks everywhere. You got a seductress cat burglar. You got a mass murderer, but hold on, kids. You can't have a cigarette or a cigar anywhere because that's going to influence you in the wrong way. And that's kind of bullshit. The character it's a part of that character's persona. Let him have that part.
Yeah, and also at the same time, hey, by the way, you can catch me on Fortnite tonight when the movie's over, or Call of Duty,
or in this car chase scene, we just if we look at it realistically, we probably killed 17 people in this car wreck, but don't smoke, kids.
Right. Yeah, that was a little a little too much. I mean, I just wow. I mean, even you don't have to light it, just let him have it. That was very, very odd. I know you got to go here because you got your stuff to do here.
I'd like to see them do. Have you ever read Batman White Knight?
No, I haven't.
I don't remember who wrote it. It's a great storyline. It's the Joker gets out of prison. He's deemed as sane. Put him on medications. He assumes he drops a Joker persona. He becomes an upstanding citizen, and he starts pointing out why the Joker's a villain, but why Batman is a bigger threat to Gotham than the Joker ever was. And part of what he pulls out is the amount of damage that Batman does to the area, amount of monetary, amount of physical damage, all that. He gets the city council working behind him and all this, and basically put Batman out of business because they're like, okay, well, yeah, you're right. He's destroying all this crap, and who's paying for it?
Nobody. Yeah, nobody.
Nobody's paying for it. Which that's addressed later in the book like that. But it'd be nice to see. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see that kind of story arc take place in a film, especially after watching how much destruction is done in this film.
Oh
Just
yeah.
the car scene, and people saying, okay, who's paying for this? Who's liable for this? Yes, he's a vigilante and he helped do this, but at what cost to us?
Now that you mention it, in previous Batman films, Batman was always careful not to get other people, other citizens in harm while he was.
And in this, he had no qualms whatsoever.
Yeah, especially in the scene where he was chasing the Penguin
Mhm.
down the road there. He was just taking that Batmobile. Let me see, Rusty Hudnall, Scott. Coming from someone who has seen the Twilight series 10 times in the last year because my 4-year-old loves Edward from Twilight, Pattinson had a unique ability, it seems, to just separate himself and play other roles and make you not connect him to the past. That has to be rare. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that they took that in consideration when they went to cast him as Batman. And I'm not sure if they, how many other people, if any other people they tried out for that role. I have no idea, but yeah, I mean, you're right, man. I mean, and I think that's what people's perception was in the beginning when they found out he was cast as Batman. Oh, it's the guy from Twilight, Um, excuse me, but yeah, you're absolutely right, Tim. I wanted to quickly tell you, so I know you got to go here. What do you got going on this evening?
This evening is the Thrifty Thursday auction on Facebook. Items from 8 o'clock to 9:30. We have a bunch of great items tonight. Gun cabinet. We have a $6 million vintage $6 million man on tonight. We have some silver, all kinds of fun stuff. Thrifty Thursday on Facebook. But we also have a news sale coming up on Monday nights. It's the Sports Corner at Nitro Antique Mall on Monday nights. Could be listing out baseball, football, sports, and other sports memorabilia.
Okay. Well, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. I like that
No
idea.
49ers cards, though.
with the 49er cards, they're so expensive.
They're priceless.
Yeah, they're priceless. That Joe Montana guy.
Yeah.
He won a few games, that Joe Montana. But yeah, guys, if you, I know that I say this every time we do a podcast, but I'm just showing some love here. If you haven't already on Facebook, be sure to go and follow the page of Third Floor Comics, and there's also the Nitro Antique Mall. And one day I'm gonna stop asking you this. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna remember it if I have to write it down. The records page that you guys
Modern
have.
vintage
Records. Modern vintage.
All your new and vintage record wants and needs.
Yes, you can follow that page as well. Don't forget he's got his thing tonight here at 8 o'clock. Let me see if there's anything else here we got. I thought. Here we go. I got this right here. There you go. If you haven't already, and Tim's going to say it. It should be updated. This is years old. He's got more than 40,000 back issues. So so be sure to follow Third Floor Comics there on Facebook and his other things as well. Let me see here. Tim, do you got anything else?
That's it tonight.
Okay, guys. Hey, well, as always, thank you guys for checking us out and listening to us and watching us. And be sure to give Tim's pages a look and bid on something, buy something, and have some fun. And we will see you guys here in 2 weeks.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Send us guys, if you want to send Melvin a message on Facebook, send me a message on Facebook, send a message to one of our groups on Facebook, and let us know what you'd like to talk about some week.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys if ever you guys have something, any kind of discussion you'd like us to talk about, just let me know in advance. That way we can get info about it and pictures, etc. If you have something cool related to whether it's movies, stories, television, comics, or whatever, let us know. We might even be able to get you on and hang out with us and talk about stuff. So you can shoot me a personal message. You can shoot Tim a personal message. You can shoot Third Floor Comics a personal message. Look at Tim. He's like, shoot me a message. Shoot me a message or shoot Tim a message. Shoot me a message, and we'll get you something there. But But we'll see you guys here in 2 weeks, and take care. Bye bye, and make sure you spay and neuter your pets.